To poor working class communities in South Africa, particularly in informal settlements, basic services like sanitation, refuse collection and waste removal are outsourced to private providers. And what has happened is that these private providers are not monitored at all, and the services are very poor.
When you remove the community out of this equation, the possibilities of collusion between government official and a service provider become much more accessible.
When you have to walk to a toilet or walk to a tap, especially at night, you walk long distances, you get criminal attacks where people get raped, robbed, and some even murdered trying to access those basic services.
Community members who are still talking about 20 years into our new democracy going to relieve themselves in a bush because there isn't proper safe sanitation.
I've seen people being beaten up. I've seen somebody dead behind my own house and I didn't know who it was. I heard of people being raped. That makes you angry. It pushes you to do more, but you hope everybody could have the same drive, including the police, to do more to ensure that we're safe. To ensure that our government delivers services, they deliver proper toilets, they deliver street lights that are going to limit people to be vulnerable to crime.
We saw that the anger or the frustrations from the communities in Khayelitsha and in other informal settlements and townships was due to lack of services that are not being provided by government. But they were not challenging the government to provide such services.
A lot of young people are getting involved. A lot of young people are getting active.
We talk about transparency and accountability. Just knowing that something happened doesn't make the people who did it stop doing it. You have to have a broader set of actors willing to demand change with that information.
The social audit is a mechanism that moves the discourse from opinion and hearsay to a more rigorous process that delivers some kind of evidence with a methodology attached.
The social audit is like a long process which includes access to information, includes education, it includes engagement. And it's all about communities taking the power into their own hands to say, I have proof. These are the facilities you were supposed to deliver. This is how much you paid. This is what was supposed to happen. It didn't happen. Therefore, respond.
A social audit creates a space that even though it might be very confrontational, it creates an opportunity for discussion about evidence, the lived experience, and it becomes focused on solutions.
We conducted our social audits on chemical toilets. The second one we conducted on refuse collection and area cleaning.
The results of the first sets of social auditing in Khayelitsha and Cape Town has been really promising because it was the first public mechanism to hold city officials and private providers accountable.
One can build in any society a moral consensus for justice and equality against a system that has left people out.
Justice is one of the tools that people can use to access their rights, one of the tools that communities can use to bring about change.
There can't be any development without freedom, and there can't be any development without justice. And I think we've seen that in all of our struggles.
Everything has changed as a result of social auditing, not just here in South Africa, but in India and all over the world.
Social auditing is much more than openness and what people call transparency. Social auditing is a strong participatory tool where the community participates in co-governing.
With the power of community mobilization, you can actually effect small changes which over time could lead to a more transformed society.
I do believe it's going to be a very big tool in the future for people in trying to get their rights respected, that honors and enables the full expression of people's human rights.